Hello. Really pray more people are having an amazing. First things first, we are currently studying to see if shorts will begin to book from here. So we're basically just tape reading. We're not in an execution. We're not in anything. We have our stop loss just above here, and we're targeting obviously the previous low. It's going to be, I won't say a difficult session, but what we're doing is from this hour interval between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, we are looking at very specific elements in time. Also, if you look at the first inefficiency post midnight, which is this baby here, that's kind of where we bounce at and have a small retracement back to take out buy side liquidity. And we should see target sell side. We can remove this just so that our chart looks a bit more cleaner. So we're only looking at very simple elements. We have buy side liquidity, which is the previous hour's buy side liquidity. Top left. And we have sell side liquidity. We have the hours open here as a potential partial. So it's a beautiful power of three playing. If it does efficiently remove, it's not a problem. You can always wait for 8:30 for the volatility to come in. But we've already seen the manipulation to trade back into it, a beautiful displacement, which is the first bearish inefficiency within this hour. And this is the second one right here. But the goal here is, first of all, if it's going to spool high and efficiently remove you, then obviously you don't want to be in that market. But apologies, top left. Yeah, okay, now that's much better. I can see that. So the goal here is to, you're not anxious, you're not frustrated, you don't have any false expectations of what you think can and will not happen. If it does continue higher, so it basically means that they're reserving this liquidity for a later on session where 7 opens, trades back into the first bullish inefficiency for spooling higher, targeting buy side, which is technically not what you want to see. You want to see spooling heading into 7:30. And simply on the basis that buy side liquidity has been tagged. And when we displace lower, the first form of displacement, which is large in expansion, is a bearish one. So that's kind of why you're seeing this huge sensitivity, seeing the shorts here with your stop just above here. So you do have a, from here to there, it's a 21 handle stop. That's what I usually use. And if you're going to use my usual 20 handle target, you would have potentially already gotten your fill here for 20 handle stop. So that's beautiful. I would take partials just below the swing low. If we do see any acceleration, then you can hold just for free money right there. Basically, that's what it is. So, side liquidity. When you're executing and trading, the goal is first have time and a focal point. If you have time and a focal point, it's much easier for you to navigate around the noise because you know what you're looking for, and if it forms relative to certain liquidities being engaged, being taken, or depending on whatever you're studying at that moment in time, it's so much easier for you to be on the right side and not be afraid, not be anxious, because that's kind of what you're trying to do here. And let's say you were to remove all this, then just have this. You know, that's kind of what you'll be looking at. Within this hour, it took out the previous buy side, the first bullish inefficiency, beautiful. But the first bearish one forms right after we take out buy side and we displace lower into the range that formed between 6 and 7. So those small, minute things are kind of what you look for. Then you can start scaling in where you're looking at these inefficiencies. For example, where you can pyramid. Personally, I wouldn't pyramid. You just let it run. Have your one contract and just take out all your profits here. You do want to see continuation heading into 7:30. I do want to see the cleats bump sell side, which is where I'll take my partials if I was in multiple position. So when you're studying, I wish I read all this guy. There's a guy who dropped me with a bunch of questions. I really wish I read at least a few of them, but I'll almost probably read them later today. But this is just kind of an introduction. You're not when looking at price, try your level best to let go of the narratives you have, let go of the need to be right or wrong, but just study, literally study. Because I spend majority of my time doing this. I don't spend majority of my time in executions, even though you did see me perform amazing on Tuesday. That's my favorite trading day of the week. My favorite day of the week in terms of life and everything is a Monday because it kind of reminds me of the rat race I lived. But when it comes to trading, it's Tuesday because Monday will set the range and then everything will kind of be defined. You know what's your external range, you know what's your internal range liquidity, and it's very easy for you to execute with the utmost of efficiency. Wednesday, it's a bit difficult, but it's usually a continuation of Tuesday depending on how you execute and what you do. But in order for you to get to these moments where you execute with, I'll say it's precision, but just elegance and grace, it comes from really watching the charts because deep down you don't think you can do this. You know, it seems a bit too difficult. I would have taken partials right there. It might seem a bit too good to be true, but I swear to God, when I began trading, I couldn't read this for the life of me. Whether you told me 20 handles, 30 handles, I swear to God, I'll be lying to you if I said I did. But I'm mesmerized by my ability to constantly improve over time and how patient I'm becoming. Literally, my level of precision is getting better and better, and I'm only a few years in. And I really wonder how I'm going to be when I'm 30, 20, 40 years in to this game. But, from me, in my opinion, I would have been done from right here to there. That's kind of what I would have called it a day. We're still recording, but yeah. I would have called it a day here, but we want to see expansion to that sell side liquidity. Would take more partials here at the opening price. So I kind of have that line. But I never thought I could. And the funny thing is, when you just look at this from where we are now, where we entered in short, and where we are, this is over 27 handles. This is 30 handles. On 1 milli, that's $600. Tell me if they can pay you that in the amount of time it took to get from here to there. In 8 minutes, $600 in 8 minutes. It's impossible. Tell me where you get it, man. Because if you have that, I would love to. Or in 8 minutes, I would love to work there. But the goal is to be patient with yourself. The goal is to tape read, man. As much as I would love to make it seem like it's pressing the button and going short and going long, it's all about tape reading, my good sir. It's all about watching the tape and desensitizing yourself from the need to be right and the need to make money. Because that's what you're forced to do. Every day, every week, you don't stop. They force you to make money. We're taking partials here as well. But don't let the world control you. Don't let the world force you into being impulsive. Because once you do have it, you realize it's just a game of time. And the market will always give you time. It'll always show up right on time. First bearish inefficiency. My guy was asking about the size and all that, but that's cool, man. We'll discuss those further, man. But the goal is to first just see it in action. Because if you do, then you trust it. And then when you trust it, you can execute upon it. But if you don't, and I hope my mic is good because I literally bought a different mic. I hope it's better, but freaking hell, man, it'll piss me off if it isn't. Personally, I wouldn't want to see it trade back up here, but it could. I would love to see it continue to expand low and just take out that sell side liquidity resting at 7 a.m. But personally, I would have called it a day here. I would have taken most probably majority of my positions. I would have moved my stop to break even. We do have it's a 40 handle trade. I would have moved my stop just above here. In my honest opinion, I would move it right there. If we do trade back up into this, and it will be like, what are we doing, bro? It's 2026. So let me just change most part of the coloring here. Just keep it a purple. But I would have moved it here, and I would have taken a lot of partials there and a partial there. And I know it's small. It seems like it's so minute, but it's not. With compound interest, there's nothing you can't do. You know, 30 handles, $600 on one contract, $1,200 on two. It just keeps going and going. And if you have 10, that's 12 grand. Oh, it is 6 grand. My math is off, bro. Freaking hell. I want price to continue spooling lower, so I'm so fixated on it. But it's basically it, man. It wasn't pop and place, I didn't just wake up in the morning and we could do this. It was more of it happens over time. Goal is to be patient and tape read a lot. If you don't tape read, then you don't really get the gist of what's going on because you're always, I would say, in a trade. You're always fearful of making or losing money. You're always anxious. So you never really get the fruits of, and the reason my stop loss is also above here. If we have a look at the first bullish inefficiency right there, it's actually this whole range suspension. See that there? We have that at 50%. See, I love seeing that. So the low of this is 50% of that. So it's kind of beautiful, beautiful, beautiful price action. But that's the only reason I want to see it remain short because I expect it to respect this. If it doesn't, then I'll take my L and walk away. We did have a fantastic trading week this week, so we don't need to stress as much. We did have a beautiful long here, and then we were eating incure live yesterday. Just short, long, long, short, long, short, 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 long. Tried to go long here. Tried a pyramid, got efficient removed. Reverse short, pyramided. Then beautiful, seeing longs here as well. Up to there, pyramid. Would have pyramided here as well, but beautiful executions, man. But the reason how we get there is through tape reading. We don't get there through always pressing the button and being in a trade. I'm a bit fatigued today as well, so please forgive my voice as well. I'm really tired, almost hungry. Maybe, yeah, it's lunchtime. Actually, I should be freaking eating, bro. But I'm really fatigued today. But this is basically the gist of it. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm looking at the hour and I'm studying swing highs and swing lows. And I'm looking at inefficiencies. That's literally all I do every day, every week. And I don't stop. And I'm blessed to be able to share this with you as well. I hope you guys are having fun because, I would have loved to have someone who would have, kind of sat with me and read price like this. It would have been amazing. Where I would have taken partials. If I was in two contracts, I would have already taken some now. And I would have been chilling. It's kind of beautiful. And for him to watch a 1 minute chart just the way I am is insanity, bro. And then tell me what time to expect something, where to put my stop loss, where to look for targets. That I don't know, bro. Like it's a blessing and a half. So I'm mesmerized by my own ability to do this. And every time I rewatch my own videos, I really do love them. I genuinely, genuinely love rewatching all my videos. It's beautiful listening to me, the things I go through, what I overcame, and how efficient I am in executing. Let me just say target here because eh, maybe free money is not like specific enough. But that's kind of the gist of it, man. It's all about patience. It's all about perseverance. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the mentor keeps mentioning these times like 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Notice how my bearish inefficiencies are the first one post any top of the hour, especially those top of the hour mentions, tends to run rapidly in your favor. But you should expect rapid repricing going lower heading into 07:42, 45. You'd love to just see it sweep those lows and then we're basically done. Call it a day. But it's all about patience. It's all about spending time just reading price and not having money involved. It's always about, oh, can I get in the high? Can I get in the low? Can I do this? No, it's about patience. It's about understanding what makes you tick. Keep your eye on the next minute that's coming. But it's not about that. It's about your ability to be patient, to execute with efficiency, and to read this, because that's what we're trying to do. At the end of the day, we're trying to read this with efficiency. And in our pursuit to read this, that's where the money comes. They've deluded you into believing that you can't read this, that it's random, that it's buying and selling pressure, whatever. I don't care. But in reality, it's not. It is driven by an algorithm. So, and you too can time it as well. Like the first bearish event is a time. It's time. Oh nine. Anyways, but we'll get into the gist of that as time goes by. It's going to be very difficult for me to explain my entries, my swing highs and swing lows, but over time I will be able to. But for now, just enjoy the show. Just me showing off. It's more flexing. But the reason I do it is because I could never. There was once a time where I couldn't read this for nothing, where I was anxious, couldn't get off my phone, I couldn't sleep. But now every day I wake up and it's amazing, It's precise. And I'm getting better with the more questions you guys ask me. So I'm grateful for all the students that really take their time to ask me questions because, I would have killed. I would have loved to have someone like this and just, chat with me. As expected, we do see displacement right on time. But the goal is patience, perseverance. And, that's basically it, man. You too can time it. You can literally time it to what time it's going to hit your TP, what time it's going to expand. That's it, man. But anyways, I won't be with you guys for long. I will have read at your questions, my good sir, and then hopefully I can answer them. But this is just to show you that we are moving. What did my mentor does this way? They see this is live market open, yeah. To close in 9 minutes, he would delay one update every 5 seconds. Our basic plan, 5 seconds. So basic, does 5 second delay count? Does that make y'all think that I'm freaking out? Because the only reason I don't get premium is because everybody be saying it's replay. So then if I don't have preplay, then how the hell is it premium? Not a good time. It's 5 second delay. Anyways, man, thank you guys so much for blessing with your ears, and I'll see you again, same time, same place.